Go. Hi, today we're gonna discuss to you our case study with the topic SAP.
Problem midterm case analysis. The Philippines was not spared by the COVID-19 pandemic in March 2020. President Duterte placed the entire Luzon Island under Enhanced Community Quarantine or ECQ to control the spread of the dreaded coronavirus. This is forced Filipino families to stay at home while the government sourced funds for financial help for these families. This was done through the Social Amelioration Program or SAP.
SAP is a cash emergency subsidy program for 18 million Filipino families whose lives were greatly affected by the ECQ. It was mandated by the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act, which was signed into law last March 25, 2020.
Under the SAP, each qualified family can receive at least 5,000 pesos up to 8,000 pesos per month for 2 months for basic food, medicine, and toiletries. The amount varies depending on the prevailing minimum wage rate and takes into account the other subsidy programs in cash or in kind under the DSWD.
Problem 1. Create a Java which will require the user to do the following. Number 1. Enter the name of the recipient. Number 2. Enter the region where the recipient resides. Number 3. Answer the question for peace recipients with yes or no. Number 4. Display the amount of remuneration to be received based on a table 1. Also display the recipient name, region, wage rate, and if the recipient is for peace member or not.
As you can see here, the table consists of region, daily minimum wage, and the amelioration for 4-piece and non-4-piece members.
Create a Java which will require the user to do the following. Number 1. Enter the name of the recipient. Number 2. Display the first menu of the regions. Number 3. Enter a choice from a first menu. Number 4. Display a second menu which has yes and no options. Number 5. Enter an option from a second menu. Number 6. Display the amount of amelioration to be received based on the tables 1 and 2. Also display the recipient name, region, wage rate, and if the recipient is 4-piece member or not.
On Table 2, we are now presented with the range of wage rate and the amount of amelioration for 4-piece and non-4-piece members.
We use the code if-else statement. The if statement is used in Java to run a block of code if a certain condition evaluates to true. The if-else statement is used with an if statement to run code if a condition evaluates to false. In addition, the if-else if statement is used to evaluate multiple conditions. Switch case statement is a multi-way branch statement. It provides an easy way to dispatch execution to different parts of codes based on the value of the expression. Switch is a control statement that allows a value to change control of execution. We use the J option pane. We use the if statement to determine the region that will be given by the user and switch case to determine the user if the input is Y or N. We also use the J option pane to prompt the user to input the recipient name, region, and ask the user if the recipient is a 4-piece member or not. The J option pane class is used to provide the standard dialog boxes such as message dialog box, confirm dialog box, and input dialog box. These dialog boxes are used to display information or get input from the user. The J option pane class inherits J component class. Show input dialog method is a function that displays a window with a text box and two buttons, OK and cancel. If we click OK, we receive a string with the content of the text box as the function returned value. If we click cancel, we will receive a null result. As you can see here, we use the JOption pane to the user to input the recipient name, region, and ask the user if it's a member of 4Ps or not.
In problem 2, we used almost the same logic to prompt the user to input the name, but we used object class to have a drop-down field to display the regions. As you can see here, we use the JOption pane to prompt the user to enter the recipient name, then to prompt the user to enter a region. Show confirm dialog. Show confirm dialog brings up a dialog with options yes, no, and cancel with the title select option. This brings up a dialog where the number of choices is determined by the option type parameter. The option type parameter we used is a yes, no option. This type is used for show confirm dialog. Using the show confirm dialog, we prompt the user to answer the question if the recipient is a 4Ps member or not. Once the user determined the region, the code will now proceed to determine if the user is a 4Ps member or not.
Show message dialog. Display a modal dialog with one button which is labeled OK. Information underscore message used for information messages. Integer parsed int. This method is used to get the primitive data type of a certain string parse. It's a static method and can have one argument or two. Again, we use the show input dialog to prompt the user and input the wage rate, then use the parsed int method to convert the inputted string to an integer.
We also use the nested if-else statement to execute a certain section of code if the test expression is evaluated to true. However, if the text expression is evaluated to false, it does nothing. In this case, we can use an optional else block statement inside the body of else block are executed if the text expression is evaluated to false. This is known as the if-else statement in Java. The next slide will show the source code displaying the nested if-else statement. After converting the string to integer, we now use the nested if-else statement to determine the range of wage rate and the amount of amelioration. We have successfully displayed the amount of amelioration, recipient's name, wage rate, and determined if the recipient is a 4Ps member or not.
For the problem 2, we also have successfully displayed the amount of amelioration, receipt name, range of wage, and also determined if the recipient is 4Ps member or not.
Now, this is the end of our discussion. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something.